Let's go around and introduce ourselves, and then we'll start the conversation.
Okay. My name is Nick Koss. I'm a dentist down in Lawrence, South Carolina.
Hey, I'm Lee Fletcher. I'm a dentist here in Greenville as well. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Shay Talbert. I'm a cosmetic and digital dentist here with Family Dental Health. I'm the founder and CEO of Launch Digital Dentistry with Dr. Wally Renee, and we're just trying to do goal education like you guys and bring digital dentistry to the mainstream.
Hey, I'm Gary Holtzclaw. I'm in Simpsonville, South Carolina.
Colin Empinger. I'm in Taylor, South Carolina.
Kip Covington, also with the next group of these guys here in Greenville, South Carolina.
I'm Rob Seyfried.
Welcome, Rob.
Thank you, sir. Family Dental Health. Not too many clinical duties anymore, mostly management duties.
Sonia Karamchandani.
Welcome, Sonia.
Thank you. Also practice with these guys. Family Dental Health.
My name is Kyle Beard. I'm a Perio resident in Augusta University in Augusta, Georgia.
All right, let's talk. If you guys don't mind, let's talk about this Family Dental Health. I was a little interested, and Shay was telling me about it. So Shay, talk to us about it.
Sure. So Family Dental Health is a private group practice founded by Dr. Rob Seyfried, and our goal is to provide comprehensive dentistry to families, and we also have paired up with some specialists, and we just try to provide the best care, comprehensive care, and formed a team that we think is a dream team of dentists with different backgrounds, different styles, but we all work together to be better. Rob, tell me about the Brushy Creek building where we started with Dr. Bob Osmond's legacy, and then how we've grown it to where we are now.
Came out when I bought a practice from a doc who was retiring, or soon to be retiring.
How long ago was that?
05.
Okay,
Bought
so
it in 06, actually. Must have been 05, bought it in 06. Had a guy that I went to school with that came out 1 year later that came in with me in 06. So there were basically two of us. Basically just took his name, is what that was Bob's name, was Family Dental.
All right, so but what Shay was telling me is that today you are two buildings, roughly 12,000 square feet each.
About that. It's about 22,000 square feet total.
So total of how many operatories? In that, and let's just focus on the one location right now.
I had roughly 40, 42, so I don't really know the number, but I would say the low 40s.
All right, so Nick, real quick for you. What do you think? What do you think when you hear this? Because you're a solo guy, right?
Yeah.
What do you think when you hear this?
That it's something I aspire to do.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, interesting. Talk to us more about that.
Well, I've always been, someone who has kind of a bent towards the business side of dentistry.
So, Nick, when you say a thing towards the business end of dentistry, what do you mean by that? What does that mean?
Well, I like, even though I don't have an MBA, I didn't study business in school, but I enjoy the business side of dentistry. I mean, I enjoy the clinical side too, but I enjoy the process of building a practice and marketing a practice, and basically, I'm telling my team all the time, we're engineering a patient base. There's the way I look at it is there's either the default position where whoever you hang a sign out and whoever comes in, and but you can really target, especially nowadays with targeted marketing on Facebook and Google and things like that. So
it's kind of cool to hear you say, articulate what you mean by the business of dentistry, the business aspect, because so many times I hear people say, well, I like the business part of dentistry, and I'm like, well, what do you mean by that? Well, I don't know, running a business. Well, what do you mean by running a business? What they really mean is they like the money, right?
Oh, sure.
Right, but
no, I actually enjoy. And I think there's a lot of that in our profession, but I actually enjoy the process.
Okay, so you have a single location.
Yes.
Okay, how many square feet?
It's 2,200 square feet.
Okay, so kind of what they started with 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So what's the next step in your guys', based on what you guys did? What I think happens is we see something that's been done, and what took you guys 12 years, somebody with the right vision and the right listening skills can execute that in 6 or 7 years. What would be the next step? What was your guys' next step when you went from 2,000 square feet? But you didn't go from 2,000 to 22,000 square feet.
No, sir. No. We brought in, we had at that time 4 docs basically working in that little area. We actually bought a practice that was about 7/10 of a mile down the street. Then we bought another one that was about 4 miles down the street.
And then you merged them all?
Then we merged
you ran
the
them as
second
3?
one into the first one, which was a smaller practice.
Okay.
But we started working Saturdays. We started doing some evening hours.
We made the best out of it. We just had fun. Yeah, we were creative, but it helped us with our humble beginnings. We came out dental school in 2008, and there was not a lot of good things happening financially in the world at that point.
I don't think you guys do yourself service by describing it as a group practice. I would describe it as a setting where you have multiple individual practitioners doing their own thing in a group in a large building.
Yeah, when y'all were coming, he said, when Shay told me all this was going on, and he's like, you gotta talk about the sleep thing, you gotta talk about this. I said, the most unique thing that we have is we were able to accomplish high-end comprehensive dentistry and health now, we're adding in sleep, in a used to be fee-for-service setup. We've moved into into the PPO world and been able to keep that quality and not change a thing we've been doing. We work off economy of scale. We can maximize from those things. I left a group practice that did not integrate within each other, and I use the same lab. My lab fees are now 20% less.
Yes, yeah.
All these things.
Your supply
and
costs
I'm able to
20%
do
less.
better style dentistry spend more time with my patients than I could have ever done before then.
Because what it sounds like is you had something that was successful, okay, as a fee-for-service environment. Why in the hell would you quote-unquote ruin that by taking insurance?
Sure, I think it's a very easy one to answer. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield knock on our door and basically say you have more patients, you're filing more claims than anybody in the state, and we'd like to get in network with you. And so other people around you will get in network with you.
Okay.
So we got a very good contract.
Okay.
To be
so
that
economies
group.
of scale allowed you to negotiate,
Right.
just like hospitals do, just like large ACOs do in medicine, just like all of these groups do in medicine, is they're negotiating contracts. Right. Let's kind of put this in perspective. What you're saying is we have multiple practices, but we're firm in principle, flexible in procedure. The market dictates that it's probably smart for us to take MetLife, so we take it in those locations because the market dictates it. So we're not being so stubborn that we're not addressing our patient base and what they need. What happened when you guys put pedo and ortho into the practices?
A lot of remodeling,
Yeah.
a lot of rethinking.
Outside the physical part, I think
Yeah.
it went very well. I mean, we have, once you already have a group of patients, you can offer them services like that, even from Perio standpoint, you can offer them, stuff very easily. I mean, you can cross market, and the Brushy Creek location, I mean, we have, including sleep, we have 3 specialties there inside what's our largest single practice. So to add them, I mean,
You're sending those patients somewhere else anyway.
Patients want that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
why do they want to go to a strange office that they don't know the people there? Or you can just go upstairs, or you go across the sidewalk to somebody who you already know and trust, right?
We don't try to be everything for everybody. We still have a great relationship with a lot of our specialists in town, and we use that interdisciplinary care together. At first, when we started doing this group thing, there was probably some caution in the community, and then once we gained a little spec because of our quality and maybe our personal relationships at dental meetings locally and so on, I think we've been able to pull it off on a very professional way. We have built our practice. What is our goal? What is our end game? Number one, we plan our family time first, and our spiritual time, and our professional. And if we're out of balance, that creates a lot of stress. So what we've been able to do with education for our own professional development is we kind of help educate each other because we have different backgrounds, and then we provide a certain CE stipend every year, which helps you, if you shut down your practice, you're affecting your staff. A startup practice that's only starting 2 days a week, because startup practices don't go gangbusters 5 days a week. We all pull each other together. So investment in our time together, and then we had a goal to do the fellowship of the AGD. I don't think that would have been possible in 4.5, 5 years if we didn't invest in ourselves, and it helps
Well, you have to, by definition, to get it.
So there's no better investment than yourself, and then the CE opportunities that we were able to do as pulling together, I think you hit the head on the nail.
Okay, so there's this proliferation of all these metric systems out there that I think provide most dentists way too much information. Not because it's not important information, because we don't know what the hell to do with it all. Because I don't give a shit how many dashboards and gauges I have if I don't know what the hell to do with it. So give me in a synopsis, what numbers do you look at, or would you recommend because I said, the solo practitioner, I consider myself a solo practitioner because I have a single building still. What numbers should we be looking at as to determine the health of our practice? What numbers do you look at in your practice to determine what's healthy and not healthy?
Our big push over the last few years has been to do live data. I mean, real-time data, not last month's data.
Not lagging data, but
Right,
leading data.
Right, absolutely. At the end of the day, if you're going to do anything well, you're going to have to know what you collect, right?
Okay.
And then after that, I think we look at profitability.
Okay.
I think from our angle, we have a lot of people who are not, we probably have 25 people in our group who are not clinically involved, who work for the group as a whole and not inside of practice. Those people, including myself, look at a whole lot of metrics. I would say most of the times in our case, this is a good area, good growing area. I don't think we have any practices that are backing up, so I would say all our practices are growing forward. I think more times than not, it is a top line number. It is a collections problem.
So it's not a matter of you're not collecting. In
Not
other
a
words, you're not
collection
doing
rate.
enough dentistry.
Not a collection rate, but how many dollars did you have
Okay.
coming in that day, right?
Okay, so then that's a
So-
diagnosis issue. Ultimately, typically, production is a diagnosis
Yes,
issue.
it starts with us.
Yeah, that's a you and you kind of mentioned it earlier. That's a philosophy of having 40 dentists give your patients a chance to say yes to the best. I was talking to a large group DSO member, and he was saying to me that when he sees collection at 99 or 100%, they get worried. So their optimal area is for collections to be at 95, 96%, because what that means is they're extending credit to their patients, and you're taking a little more risk, but with that risk comes bigger production. So you want to have some patients who bad pay you.
So we make dentistry that's big dentistry that's affordable, or we try to make it down into payments to where we get better case acceptance and we help our patients.
And part of that is a risk that you take internally.
It's a risk, and we take internally. We do internal financing at 0%. There are external financing, which we know, Care Credit,
Yeah,
and
so
Lending
you're doing
Club.
internal payment plans, not financing.
Yeah, I'm
just,
sorry.
Just
Yes,
lending terms.
correct.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so we set them up on auto draft to do a down payment, and then we said, "What's your budget?" And we're flexible. We try to, if we know the patient, we're more flexible. If it's a
Right.
new patient, we've been burned, like we all have.
But that's part of the game.
That is part of the game, and so there's
Yeah.
a risk reward, and so I think you hit it well. Like, you don't want 100%. I like the patients that value our dentistry, and those are our most rewarding, and that's I think that's what's the best. I think we have the law of attraction. We just think positive. We try to do good things in the community as a group and with our other dentists in town, and the law of attraction really helps grow it in a positive way.